Tarke here, and today we're doing a rather intimidating Patreon build review. This is a WarCry Cyclone Berserker. As you can see, it's utilizing a bunch of cluster jewels, and because it's utilizing a bunch of cluster jewels, it's near impossible to change anything about this, because if I lose any of the cluster jewels, the build loses like half of its damage. So, that didn't go very well. So let's import that again. So to explain how these builds function, if you aren't aware, there are some very powerful interactions with stacking WarCry jewels, and a lot of people play these as a Berserker. Obvious reason, because Berserker gets 25% recovers 25% life and mana when you use a WarCry, and increased WarCry cooldown recovery speed, and then also chance to deal double damage and attack speed if you've used a WarCry recently. So it's just like, if you want to play WarCry build Zerker, it's just natural synergy. So what are they doing to get this 11.8 mil damage Cyclone? Mob Mentality gives you and nearby party members 5 rage when you WarCry. Cry Wolf gives increased WarCry duration. WarCry's grants having 10 additional nearby enemies. Increased WarCry buff effect. I think you might be able to see what's happening here now. So you stack a bunch of Cry Wolf, you get as much WarCry effect as possible, you put a couple Mob Mentalities into your build, so that you're getting ridiculous amounts of rage, you're giving you 100% uptime on Berserk, which is very, very strong. You shove in some Warning Calls if you're crit, so you're also getting some crit multi. More Cry Wolves. More Mentality for more rage, more Cry Wolves. Cry Wolf, Warning Call for crit multi, Warning Call for crit multi, Cry Wolf. So yeah. On the large, he's got deep cuts for Impale. So he's got 3 additional Impales, because I'm guessing he's got Impale in each one. Yep. Yep, so he's got 3 additional Impale. Martial Prowess just gives a damage attack speed, damage attack speed, damage attack speed, and then he's just going to be putting life double damage jewels in the smalls to save points. So basically, there's not really much I can do now, because it's the level 90 tree with nothing in it but the WarCries. You don't need any damage mods. All you need on the tree is life. So he currently needs Coffin Chain, and it's probably also giving him something good from his Lethal Pride, so I can't really drop that. Could possibly search for the Mob Mentalities for a Haunting Shout. It's good catch, could do that. But he's going for a Cyclone, Impale, Impuge, Channeling, Brutality, Melee Fizz, Pulverize. Wouldn't change anything there. And still protects the Culling Maim, so he's just doing that for the proc. Then he's got the Berserk, which has got basically 100% uptime because he's getting so much rage generation. Which is very cool. He's going for Flawless Savagery. If you're playing this in hardcore, you could drop Aspect of the Carnage, Flawless Savagery, and take Rite of Rune. You could also drop Pain Reaver and get Leech on gear or something. Could run Fortify and Links instead of Pulverize. Pulverize would be the first one I would drop. Pulverize only gives 2 AoE, which isn't really anything that special, so I'd probably rather run Fortify there. That's a good catch. You use Rallying Cry and Enduring Cry. Rallying Cry is also giving about 5 million damage, 5.2 million damage, and you just use Rallying Cry. It's got a pretty long duration if you stack skill effect duration on it. So if you don't like pressing it instantly or constantly, because you've got instant WarCries, you can have Enduring Cry automated on left click. So pretty as. So you can have one automated one. He's a Cyclone build, so he's holding down right click to move everywhere. Every now and again he presses Enduring Cry. Every now and again he presses Rallying Cry. You can also do funny things with like 100% uptime and Mortal Core with these builds. He's got Leap Slam, Fast Tracks, Fortified Blood Magic, Dread Banner because he's Impale, Herald of Purity, Blood and Sand, Precision because he's a crit build, he needs the hit chance. Word of Flames is an enchant. Intimidating Cry is another thing you can get from the Farrell's booties. Double Ichimangis for increased effective buffs. Makes sense. He's getting all of this crazy buff scaling. It's also fairly cheap. Gives a bunch of attack speed. Increase effects buffs on you. Reduce amount of reservations is kind of nice because he's using quite a few reservation skills. He's got increased buff effects on a helm enchant. Obviously very strong when you've got near 100% uptime of Berserk. It's just a solid life chest there. Good life roll crafted. It would be better if you had like an incursion chest with more res or something, but it's fine. Spiked gloves with just some damage. Not very good gloves, to be honest. Pharaoh's Chase, which gives you the intimidating cry when you lose Cat's stealth. And that's automated, so it's not another thing that you need to add in there. And also, if you don't know, we'll bring up intimidating cry on the wiki. Intimidating cry, PoE. Here you go. Performs a WarCry granting the user and nearby allies increase attack speed if there are nearby enemies. The attack speed increases proportional to the number of surrounded enemies. Taunts all nearby enemies, intimidates them. So you get 10% increased attack speed, 20% increased attack speed per 100 nearby enemies. But he's got all of this buff effect. And he's got Cry Wolf. He's got like 6 of them I can count. So they always count as being 60 additional. And 30% increased effects on each one. So he's got 180% increased effect. So the intimidating is giving him like 100 and something odd attack speed, more or less. Maths, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The WarCry stuff is really strong. It's very, very powerful, and you can do this with basically any build. You could take this exact setup. You could be playing any character and just be like, I'm gonna put all of these in. Like, you could be like playing a Corsair carry build and say, you know what? I want just like all the buff effects from the Rallying Cry. I want Rallying Cry on my build, and I just get like insane clouds, vape niche, whatever. And then not only do you have like all of this damage, you're constantly healing 25% of your life. You've got such a short cooldown on your Enduring Cry. Like if we look into the calcs, it might be able to tell me here. Skill cooldown 1 sec, 1.15, right? So every like 1 second, basically, you're getting a 25% recovery. Now, obviously, you're only really exploiting this on a Berserker, because Berserker's getting the healing. Also, Berserker's got the lowest cooldown recovery. Could be tempted to shove Words of Glory in there if you wanted to get even more WarCry recovery speed. Kind of surprised he didn't. A little bit more WarCry duration. If you go for like that into that, that's an extra 60% duration on your Rallying Cry, which means that you're not having to press the Rallying Cry as much. And yeah, you also get the insane like a couple of thousand health regen from the Enduring Cry, which is worth mentioning. If you could balance out your stats, you could drop that point there. It looks like you didn't even need that for his gear anyway. I'd probably recommend fitting it in just for the quality of life. If you don't necessarily need it though. Is there any way that we could further optimize the tree though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't want to take Words of Glory, you could route along this way instead. Routing along that way. And then if you need the resistances, you could do Barbarism into that. Take a bit more life. Get an extra jewel. Life. Drop that fluff node. Like, you could use this exact tree for basically any character. And just set. Sure, this is a level 97 tree. But it's level 97 tree with 175% life on the tree. Let's say that you cut those two. So it's level 95 tree, but a lot of people, like, you know, plan for 95, right? It's 175% life on the tree. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 normal jewels. Each normal jewel giving potentially 7% life. So that's 63%. So it's 175% on tree with 63% additional. Like, you can get a lot. And you could do this for anything. Like, you don't have to be an Impale build. You don't even have to be an attack build. So you could do this on any dot character. You could do this on any caster build. You could potentially get enough damage that you drop, like, 1 cluster. Like, you can probably get enough damage with just 2 clusters that you can drop all of this. And then spend those points on, like, more survivability or something. It's a bit of a shame not taking Soul of Steel when you're that close to it. It's just really good. Like, I've seen people doing very similar setups. And having 100% uptime on a Immortal Call. Because they've got such a short cooldown on their Enduring Cry. It's just like, Enduring Cry, Immortal Call, Enduring Cry. And they just manually Immortal Call. Increase duration. Like, it's... People freak out about the Herald stuff being broken, and this is very broken. This is, like, the next best thing. Like, this is slightly more ethical. You can also do, like, WarCry supports, which is really interesting. Where you just have one person in the group doing all this WarCry stuff, and it's just, like, rallying cry, and the entire group's damage just, like, doubles. This stuff's, like, really strong. Like, really, really strong. So, yeah. I mean, there's not really that much I can suggest, other than the fact that if you don't want to take Words of Glory, maybe go for a tree that looks kind of like this. And if you go this way, you've got access to a couple more life nodes. A little bit of easier gearing because of the res and the plus on fire res there. Otherwise, yeah, you can just come along that way. It's a very nice, symmetrical tree, which I like. Like, aesthetically, it's pleasing. Yeah, it's... If you had more currency, you could use voices and, like, just push it further, even further beyond. But yeah, it's good. It's basically just like, this is good. If I had to change anything... Oh, sorry, let's just put another jewel on there. It's also pretty just seeing, like, 18 jewel sockets. If I had to change anything about the character, I would probably not take Aspects of Carnage. Just because I've accidentally ticked something off, which is why he's lost, like, half his damage, but still a 12 million damage build. I just accidentally clicked off of something. Just because you'll have enough damage that you don't need it, and I don't really like taking increased damage. I'd probably rather take, like, Blitz instead, or maybe do Rite of Rune for the stun stuff. Not that you need it, because you already have the rage generation. But, yeah. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's not really much to say, really. Maybe you'll have enough damage that you could drop 1 cluster. I am curious to know how much money you spent just buying life damage jewels. Yeah. Berserk Ichimanji build, by the way. Anyway, I'm Tarke. Hopefully, you guys might have found this educational, because you might have just gotten some cool ideas, since there isn't really anything that, you know, I could drop from this. But yeah, anyway, I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Bye-bye.